Hi, welcome to Walking Wilder. I'm back, and this is a reading exploring past life energies. Now, of course, this is a collective reading, so I am tapping into themes of past life energies. This is not a specific reading on a past life that your soul has lived, but on the general themes of what this collective, whoever is going to watch this video, um, have dealt with. A lot of our stories are similar. So, the first cards that I pulled here before turning off, interesting, turning on the camera, were this one. This was the very first one, the mountain, and see the person standing in there with a very secluded energy, kind of like very much hermit energy, pulling back your energy, going on this lone wolf quest for knowledge, quest for um, practicing whatever you feel called to. With this card here, I don't know if YouTube is gonna like that. It says expect the extraordinary, and it comes with a feeling of. I'm gonna put this here so we don't get in trouble. It comes with the feeling of working with energy, of trying to alchemize energy, of trying to, um, create things. And this, since this is out in nature and everything, maybe you work with plants, maybe you, were a healer, maybe you were a seer, whatever, your extraordinary gifts were or power was, you kind of knew that you were born for this in this lifetime. So standing on that mountaintop by yourself is not an unfamiliar feeling. Some of you will, um, will have experienced the same thing in this life, of having been um, on quite a lonely quest, um, in search for answers that might have been kind of like out of the mainstream thing. And there's been a battle here, to try and stay out of being judged by other people, and feeling like you were not one of the group, not one of the um, tribe, so to speak. Um, there's definitely this energy of having to walk the path alone, having to, which does not necessarily feel like you really kind of resented that. There's a feeling of acceptance and a feeling of, this is how I am able to really look deep into the mystic realm, really kind of work concentrated on whatever it was that you were working on in this lifetime. So it's not really a feeling of, oh my goodness, I feel left out. Um, and that's a harsh place to be. It's more a feeling of, I would just like to do my own thing and be free of judgment. Now, as we all know, that can be rather difficult because people always have an opinion about what other people should do or shouldn't do, what's good, what's not good, all that stuff. Um, this card here, the offering, to me feels like spirit reaching out a hand and saying, okay, um, in this lifetime, we're going to offer you a way of healing that fear of being judged, so that you can step forward and really bring into the light what you came here to bring into the light. Um, so we'll see where this goes, but that's the overall energy of this lifetime, or these lifetimes, that whoever resonates with this have been kind of very deeply immersed in doing your own thing, uh, working with manifestation, working with herbs, working with healing, working with being a seer, working kind of um, it's I don't know, it's kind of difficult to explain, but it has this vibe of just being very preoccupied with whatever you were doing. And I see this person who was kind of like standing at a table, putting something in a big pot, and just kind of being totally oblivious to what's going on around them. Kind of like, I am so immersed in this energy and this path and this um, whatever it is that you were creating there, that you didn't really um, didn't mind being, by yourself. All right, can we get one card describing this past life other than what we have on the table, Spirit? Describing maybe the type of person, um, something. Seven of Swords here at the bottom, which is an interesting energy. It's a little bit deceptive. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of cards here. Yeah, here's the Ten of Cups. Um, and to me, in this particular deck, it often looks like that this person that she's kind of reaching out to and trying to pull with her, well, she's reaching out anyways, is kind of resisting whatever that is. Um, and here's the Eight of Wands. So there's been some movement here, turning away. See how all the birds are going in a different directions. So my feeling with this is you've been called in a different direction than the traditional Ten of Cups. Of course, there's many ways to have whatever your Ten of Cups is, but there's been this pull to be in whatever energy, the Ten of Cups were normally portrayed as, and you have actually actively felt a pull away from that, which has hurt in some ways. Here's the Ten of Swords, which, is something that hurts, but also see how wise he is. It's kind of like you have intuitively known that wisdom came at a price, that the ability to sit and really work deeply with your soul, with energy, with, healing whatever it is that you were doing in this life, that came at a price. You probably were an old soul already in this life, so you also came in with wisdom that you've earned over lifetimes that has cost you on a human level, with human relations. Um, so it took a lot of strength to be you in this life. This was not an easy life. Um, you were probably judged. Some of you might have been, prosecuted, or you've been accused of lying, of trying to deceive people, trying to um, you know betrayed the norm, the regular way of seeing things. um, so there's not an easy life. It took a lot of strength, a lot of courage to walk that path. We'll put this over here. What was the purpose of the viewer doing whatever lifetime this refers to for them? What was the purpose? Queen of Wands. Yeah. See, you were here to work with whatever your magic was, healing the earth. Um, some of you were definitely seers. Some of you were, you know, were working with the other sides, communicating with the departed and that type of thing. And so um, it was just lonely in a lot of ways. But again, it doesn't necessarily feel like you were really, really deeply saddened by that. It was kind of like, with this Ten of Swords, and it was kind of like your higher self intuitively knew when you came in that this was going to be a different life. This was going to be a life that was going to require a lot of strength, a lot of um, courage to be who you came here to be, to show up as who you were meant to be in that lifetime. What would be a lesson that was not completed in that life, Spirit? I think we'll take that one too. I kind of tried. Justice is at the bottom here. Okay. Here's Seven of Wands, which, is about holding your ground, kind of being accused of things, having to defend yourself. King of Cups. And the Three of Wands. It's kind of like the vision that you had for helping others, the Three of Cups here, for being able to offer other people something that would help them, that would heal them, that would, expand their viewpoint. I hear, just didn't really go well. It's kind of like you couldn't really bridge the space between this being very deeply involved in whatever it was you came to do, and then actually presenting it to people, so in a loving manner, that people found believable. Also that Seven of Swords, it's like people didn't believe that you actually had the abilities that you did, that you had the knowledge, that you've done the work, that you came with good intentions. So there is a karmic justice here, that didn't really take place because you did come in, for once, to help people, be stable, be healed, be able to live secure lives, to not secure, that's not the word I'm looking for, to create the lives that they really longed to create. You did have good intentions, but it wasn't seen like that. How's the lesson of not... now give me one more card about this lesson. Okay, well, Six of Cups is underneath here. So this is actually, the memories of the past and that type of thing. And I don't think you necessarily consciously remember this life. Very few of us do, but there's definitely something, spilling over from that lifetime into the way that you view yourself and the healing capabilities that you have in this life, whether you are aware of it or not. And most of you, again, are not really aware of it, and that might be something to work on. All right. Three of Pentacles, working together. Ace of Swords, Seven of Cups. Three of Pentacles talks about working together, and see how they all are pulling on this. But it seems like a struggle. you know. This is not, it doesn't look easy. It looks like you really, really have to work hard for this. Um, and here's the Ace of Swords, which to me in this deck, especially, she looks quite, I'm standing here in my own energy, and there's really nothing. Well, there's a connection to spirit, obviously. Um, see how she's kind of, but there's no people supporting her. It feels like a lonely quest, but she is absolutely seeing something, seeing the truth of something that other people may not necessarily see, is the vibe I get with her. And here's the Seven of Cups, possibilities, but it has kind of like this, it's like, you didn't really, you had a lot of options, a lot of gifts, but it's like you never really managed to deeply connect with the one that would be victorious, if that makes sense. It's like you didn't find the cure for whatever was ailing the community that you were close to. Whatever it was that people were seeking, the guidance, the healing, whatever it was, it's like you never really managed to find the solution that you were hoping to bring to them. So it's like you have this feeling of not really being successful with your mission. How is that relevant to this life, Spirit? Six of Cups again. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. See, this is you nurturing something inside of you. It's kind of like this little tiny bird is the connection to this previous life. And you're sort of, you're trying to nurture it in this life to kind of be able to complete whatever it was you didn't complete it in the past life. Tell me more about the Nine of Pentacles, which is your personal success, your ability to create what you want to create, to have what you feel you need to have. Page of Wands here. See how she's walking around gathering things in the darkness. Again, this very lonely, this lonely energy. And now my voice is going out. Here's the moon, you looking for this portal to what you intuitively know you're meant to bring to the world. But it's like in that lifetime that whatever this is for you, you didn't feel that you succeeded in doing that. There was something missing. You didn't feel like you were a success. Why was that, Spirit? The Fool. You felt like there was information you didn't know, that you didn't know, that the wisdom you had with you was not deep enough. But that's not true, though, because this card with the Ten of Swords here, and the way, he has done the work for the knowledge that he has. So you did know. So why is there this feeling of not knowing, Spirit? Six of Cups again. So it's like in this lifetime, this lesson from the past of not being successful is spilling over into this life where you're still feeling like, I don't know everything I need to know. There's something I'm missing. There's something I'm not seeing with the Moon card. I haven't walked through this portal, but I don't feel that's true. Because with this card here, it's like you have done the work. Let's see what this is. Page of Wands again. It's kind of like you've done the work, but you're still out there looking. See, she's trying to gather little pieces of wood and, you know, knowledge, metaphorically. But it's like you already have it. The feeling I have with it is, but you already have this. See, here's the Ace of Wands. You have the passion, the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience, the whatever. You already have it. But you're still looking for it. Nine of Cups, Hanged Man, King of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. So the lesson spilling over into this life is for you to realize that you already have everything you need in order to be who you want to be. Whatever you feel your calling is, whatever you feel that I came into this life to help people, to create whatever, whatever is calling you, your Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment, whatever it is that you feel like my soul is calling out for this. This is what I came here to do. This is what I long to do. You need to look at yourself from a different perspective. Because here's the King of Swords, and he sees very clearly. He is like, all right, no BS. I see this exactly for what it is. And here's the Ace of Pentacles. This is you with all that you need. All the tools, the knowledge, the background, the wisdom, the everything that you have collected over lifetimes. See all the things that is here that she's carrying or connected to, or he. I don't really know if it's one or the other. So there's something here. Well, not something. That's what it is. There's a part of you that does not believe that you have everything that you need, but you do. Because you already paid the price. You already did the work. Whatever spiritual work you had to do, and that's not to say that you don't have to work on yourself in this life. Of course you do. But sometimes working on yourself means getting to a point where you remember what you already knew. Where you re-engage with that part of your soul that already knows everything that you need in order to be successful in this life. How can you heal this? How can the viewer heal this, Spirit? The Hermit. Which is interesting because, that's that energy of going within, of searching for the truth, of seeing things for what they are, which is exactly what I saw here. You were there in the mountains doing this. So why is the Hermit card here? Awakening. Yeah, see? And the Seven of Pentacles, awakening to the Seven of Pentacles. You need to remember everything that you already know. You need to reconnect with all the work that you've done in previous lifetimes and bring back whatever it is you need in order to do what you feel called to do in this life. Re-engaging with whatever energy that is for you. And remembering that you already were the Hermit. You've already been on this search. You've already looked in all the little, nuts and crannies. You've been on the quest. You've been out collecting the wisdom, the knowledge. You've searched and you found, and you paid the price, What else, Spirit? Wheel of Fortune. Yep. It's time to understand that you actually can do whatever it is you feel called to do in this life. Now, that's not to say if you feel like you need to, learn something again or take a class, take a course, do whatever. That's fine, it's not, but just know that it's not a matter of learning it. It's a matter of remembering what you already know. And there's a difference there. You're not the novice here. You're not, the fool. You've been here before. You already know this. You're just kind of, it's like looking in an old trunk of stuff and at the bottom of it, there's some things that you can use for the project that you have at hand. there anything else here, Spirit? Nine of Wands. Yeah, this has not been easy. It was not easy in that life. It has probably not been easy in this life. Four of Cups. But Spirit is literally here. See how Spirit is giving you that cup there, like you are ready. But you need to remember that you already have all of this wisdom. It's kind of like there's a part of you that is that has put a burden on yourself that doesn't need to be there. There's a part of you that thinks, well, I'm never gonna get out of this feeling of being stuck, of not, being able to find to find whatever it is that your community, whatever community you're connecting with now, whatever tribe you feel drawn to, whatever those people that are, you are called to be doing something with, something for in this lifetime, you got everything you need. You really honestly do. It's a matter of reconnecting with it. Yeah, Two of Cups. See? This is the past self and the current you. And we're like, we know what we need to know. This is your soul saying, hey, we got all the love, we got all the wisdom, we got everything we need in order to do this. The Empress here. See how connected she is. And here's the Eight of Cups. It's time for you to leave the past behind. See here? Here it is again. That lack, that feeling of not knowing enough, of not being enough, of just not being able to. It's time you leave that behind. Because you do have everything you need. Absolutely you do. Yeah. Yeah, ground and connect. Beacon of fortitude. You got it. See, that's you holding the pentacle, being like, I got the tools that I need for this. There isn't anything else I need to learn to do, to whatever it is you feel you need is a matter of reconnecting to it, remembering it, not learning it, because you already did that. Yeah, your wish is granted. See, your magic is right there. Unguarded, trust the unexpected. And pierce the veil. Move beyond the illusion of you not knowing what to do. You know how to connect to spirit. You know how to connect to your higher self. You know how to do whatever it is you came here to do. So, there's that. Anyway, if this resonates with you, please, press like, subscribe to my channel. If you like my way of reading, I know it's a little bit different. Or, write me a message. And thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Big love.